What's up guys, MastCellMulvaney here. Today I'm going to be talking about the relationship between gluconeogenesis and ketogenesis. So keep in mind that this occurs in the hepatocyte, the liver cell. So let's have a look here. So you should be familiar with this as the glycolysis pathway. So you have glucose come in from the bloodstream, gets phosphorylated, turned into G6P, turned into pyruvate eventually, and then after pyruvate, it's turned into acetyl coenzyme A or oxaloacetate, fed into the citric acid cycle, and then eventually the electron transport chain, all to generate ATP. So you should be familiar with this. So gluconeogenesis is occurring in the opposite direction. So it's promoted by high levels of glucagon because glucagon stimulates this enzyme PEP-CK, which, long story short, converts oxaloacetate to pyruvate pretty much, and that allows pyruvate to then be funneled back up in this direction into glucose, which is then released into the bloodstream for the glucose-dependent tissues. Okay guys, so we've talked about gluconeogenesis, so let's think what else happens when insulin starts to fall. So insulin is a powerful inhibitor of hormone-sensitive lipase, and what HSL does is it converts stored triglycerides to free fatty acids and is in adipose tissue, and then those free fatty acids are released into the bloodstream and end up at the liver, and the liver uses these fatty acids for ketogenesis. So in a low insulin state that happens, insulin inhibits HSL, so this doesn't happen. So low insulin is needed for ketogenesis. And just a quick refresher, fatty acids go through a process called beta oxidation in the mitochondrial matrix to form acetyl coenzyme A, which, as we know, can then be funneled into several different pathways. Okay guys, so let's add these two ideas together. So gluconeogenesis, and then we have beta oxidation of the fatty acids that are coming to the liver from adipose tissue. So we end up in a situation where the process of gluconeogenesis depletes the oxaloacetate reserves and the beta oxidation is making lots of acetyl coenzyme A. The issue is that oxaloacetate being depleted means that the citric acid cycle can't continue, and so acetyl coenzyme A can't be incorporated into that, meaning it begins to build up. So what that results in then is an overflow pathway for all this excess acetyl coenzyme A, and that leads to ketone formation. Okay, to summarize, glucagon stimulates PEP-CK to allow gluconeogenesis. This depletes oxaloacetate. In fasted situations, low insulin means that fatty acids are then delivered to the liver. Beta oxidation of these fatty acids leads to production of acetyl coenzyme A. The low oxaloacetate inhibits the citric acid cycle, and therefore the excess acetyl coenzyme A is forced into the ketogenesis pathway, creating ketones. Thank you for watching.